Before I begin, I need to say this plainly. What you're about to hear is protected speech, not because it's loud, not because it's popular, but because it's honest. I'm not speaking for a party, I'm not speaking for a movement. I'm speaking from lived experience, inherited memory, and a body that remembers what systems tried to erase. I am Native American, I am Irish, I am American. And like many of us, I was taught early which parts of myself were acceptable and which parts needed to stay quiet to survive. This is not a call to violence. It is a refusal to remain silent. If the President of the United States can speak openly about power, borders, fear, and force, then the people living with the consequences of those systems have the same right to speak back. This is not extremism, this is testimony. These words come from history, from trauma, from recovery, from watching families break and rebuild under pressure most never see. I'm not here to bow, I'm not here to beg, I'm here to stand on the ground beneath my voice and speak. The ground beneath my voice by changing winds. Before anyone tells me what this is, before headlines sharpen their teeth, before fear tries to decide the tone, I need to say this plainly. I am standing on my own ground. Not ground borrowed from a party, not ground leased from a church, not ground measured by profit margins or approved by a boardroom vote. This ground is older than flags, older than borders drawn in ink and blood, older than the language used to tell me when to speak and when to stay quiet. I was taught silence early, taught that obedience was love, that survival meant shrinking, that the safest version of myself was the one that disappeared. I learned how to fold my questions until they fit inside doctrine, how to doubt my body before I ever doubted authority, how to call fear faith. I learned how systems work by living inside them, how they reward compliance, how they punish curiosity, how they call it order when it's really control. I come from people who were told their languages were dangerous, their ceremonies were wrong, their memories were inconvenient to the story power wanted to tell. I come from native roots cut off by fear and religion, from Irish blood shaped by famine and rule, from working class hands that learned endurance before joy. I was not raised to know myself, I was raised to perform myself, to be acceptable, to be useful, to be quiet enough to keep. And still, something survived underneath all that, something that noticed when the rules contradicted the truth, something that refused to die. This is not rebellion for attention. This is not anger looking for an outlet. This is memory returning to the body after years of being told it didn't belong there. I am speaking now because silence was never neutral. It was trained, it was enforced, it was rewarded. And if those in power are allowed to speak freely, to lie freely, to threaten freely, to shape the world with their voices, then so are the people. If presidents can speak without restraint, if corporations can speak without consequence, if empires can narrate themselves as heroes, then I do not need permission to tell the truth I lived. This is political speech because my life was politicized, my body was regulated, my labor was extracted, my silence was profitable. This is spiritual speech because control dressed itself as God and demanded obedience instead of justice. If that unsettles you, sit with it. Discomfort is not danger. Truth does not owe anyone ease. This is the ground. I am standing on it, and I will not bow to speak from here. So hear this clearly. What comes next is not borrowed language. It is not reaction. It is not rage dressed up as courage. It is a voice returning to itself. I am not here to persuade you. I am not here to recruit you. I am not here to perform safety for anyone's comfort. I am here because truth does not require permission, because silence was never the same thing as peace, because the ground beneath my voice is real and it holds. If you're listening with an open body, stay. If you feel resistance, don't run from it. Notice who taught it to you. What follows is not the beginning of a movement, it is the continuation of memory. This is where I speak from now, and everything after this stands on that ground. If this spoke to you, don't let it pass in silence. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to know what you believe yet. Just acknowledge that you heard it. Like the video if it resonated. Share it if someone else needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want to stay with this work as it continues. Supporting this channel helps keep these stories honest, independent, and free from the systems they question. However you choose to support. Thank you for being here.